photo. Authorities have charged 27-year-old Bethesda, Maryland stock trader Daniel L. Beckwith with involuntary manslaughter and second-degree murder after worker Askia Koffa died in a fire while building an elaborate 200-foot network of underground tunnels designed to protect Beckwith from a North Korean nuclear attack. According to the New York Times, police and firefighters arrived at Beckwith's home on September 10, 2017 to find Koffa's dead body in the tunnel complex under it, leading to his indictment on May 31. Police officers and firefighters responded and spoke with Mr. Beckwith. In the basement, they discovered the naked, charred body of a deceased male, court documents said. They also found a hole in the basement floor, with an entrance shaft that dropped about 20 feet down and fanned out into tunnels spanning about 200 feet underground. The man who was found dead, Askia Koffa, 21, had been working to dig the tunnels. The medical examiner determined that the cause of death was smoke inhalation and thermal injuries. Beckwith's lawyer, Robert C. Bonsab, told The Times his client had made seven-figure profits trading stocks and was concerned about the increase in international tensions, and in particular North Korea's acquisition of long-range ballistic missiles, and he was in the process of building a secure location for himself. Authorities alleged in court documents that they also claimed Beckwith lied about the location of the home and only drove him to the work site in blackout glasses. Beckwith's side of the story, Bonsab told The Times, is that Koffa was an experienced, willing participant with pre-existing business relationships with Beckwith, who worked several times on the complex, and who used the opportunity to snap photos for social media. Beckwith says he tried twice to rescue Koffa but was overcome by smoke inhalation. Beckwith faces a maximum sentence of 10 years if found guilty of manslaughter and 30 if found guilty of second-degree murder, The Times wrote. Though The Times described the tunnel complex only briefly, Swiss federal engineer Cédric Voulmier told the paper in a separate interview that the process of building a shelter capable of surviving a nuclear detonation is somewhat more complex than digging holes underneath one's house. Start with what Voulmier calls a protective envelope of concrete and reinforced steel rebar with walls between 1 foot and 2 feet 7 inches thick. Don't build near anything flammable. Your budget may allow for more spaciousness, but plan for a minimum of 9 square feet per person, which is what Switzerland provides. Install 8-inch thick concrete and steel doors that open out. Add a ventilation and air filtration system that can be operated with a hand crank in case of a power failure. While the defendants' prophesied nuclear war has not as of yet materialized, North Korea has spent the past few years stepping up development of long-range missiles that could potentially be used to deliver a nuclear warhead. How close the nation is to truly having intercontinental nuclear strike capability remains unclear. They are believed to have miniaturized warheads, though not necessarily missiles advanced enough to deliver them to the mainland U.S. That distinction may not matter on the Korean peninsula itself. Former Director of National Intelligence James Clapper recently told Bloomberg that his impression is that North Korean commanders believe they have already achieved a functional nuclear deterrent capable of deterring the conventional military superiority of U.S.-backed South Korea. President Donald Trump's administration is still preparing for a summit with North Korean ruler Kim Jong-un, who CNN reported seems to have been replacing key officials with younger Kim loyalists who could help the autocrat retain control of potential outside investment if a deal is reached. However, such a deal is far from certain, and the possibility remains that even if the summit does happen, it could fall through and leave both nations at the current status quo or worse. Update June 5, 2018. It turns out the backstory to this tragic incident is even more bizarre. According to WJLA, Beckwith was also known for attending conventions where he dressed in an elaborate disguise, resembling a hazmat suit worn by firefighters, under the moniker 3-Alarm Lamp Scooter. Reader directed Gizmodo to this footage of 3-Alarm Lamp Scooter speaking about DIY nuke-proofing at DEF CON 24, a hacker conference held annually in Las Vegas. A Twitter account using that name and with the bio stating the user was very underground showed up as protected Monday night. Screenshot, Twitter. Finally, a Reddit account matching that username appears to have went inactive roughly 8 months ago, and appears to have been an active participant in conversations on North Korea and disaster preparedness, New York Times.